Hello, Yakri here with a new video on the game Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's released recently. I have kind of ruined my sleep schedule trying out this game. I wasn't totally sure about it at first, and it does have a lot of problems, which is actually what I'm going to talk about right here. But I do think it's a great game. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I'll make a more detailed video about the game in general and its quality later. But this is more about... I think everyone has had a moment where they wonder, like, what the fuck were the developers thinking when they made a game, right? When they made something, maybe not the whole game, but some specific mechanic. Like, how the fuck did this make it into the game? It doesn't make any sense, right? Now, I find that I mostly don't agree with some of the more popular instances of that. I see it on Reddit and stuff a lot, and I usually cannot see what the hell the person's talking about, or rather I can see where the developer is coming from pretty clearly. But I think I've run into something that's completely baffling to me in this game, where you kind of wonder, how did these two mechanical things get in, right? And that's the Marathon Man and Sprinter perks. Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance has a lot of these perks that are kind of trade-offs, right? Like Human Dustbin, right? You can eat shitty food and it doesn't affect you, but if you eat good food, it also doesn't affect you. So this is kind of in the same vein, right? Marathon Man, you sprint slower, but you can sprint 20% longer because it demands 20% less stamina. Or Sprinter, you can sprint faster, but it costs 20% more stamina. Now, here's the thing. For both of these perks, you're going to end up sprinting the same distance. You can sprint for less time, but you sprint an equivalent amount faster during that time, right, to make up for it. So for both of these perks, if you get either one of them, now I don't know if there are any issues under the hood that make this not the case or something, and how they do their math, but theoretically you should be able to have both of these perks sprint until you're out of stamina and arrive at basically exactly the same spot. But here's the thing: with Sprinter, you will arrive there faster, okay? Which means that Marathon Man is worse in every possible way, as far as I can tell, to Sprinter, right? Because there's a mechanic in this game where if someone's running away from you, which they may very well do while you're slaughtering your way across the countryside, you need to chase after them and tackle them. It may be important for you to do that occasionally. So from that perspective, Marathon Man is worse. You'll have a really hard time catching those people, right? I mean, maybe you'll catch them eventually because they'll tire out later, sooner than you, and you'll be able to catch up to them and tackle them, right? But with Sprinter, you'll actually gain on them reliably and be able to tackle them long before you run out of stamina, which actually means that when you confront them, you should be, in theory, in a better position to fight them once you've tackled them than you would be with Marathon Man, since you're only going to catch up to them when you're both near the end of your stamina bar, which is kind of how it works normally without a perk. So, as far as I can tell, Sprinter is just better in every way. It also, of course, will save you, the player, time when you're occasionally, because you're trying to get to a location that doesn't take your full sprint bar, even with Sprinter. With Sprinter, you get there faster. And with either Sprinter or Marathon Man, if something would deplete your whole stamina bar, it doesn't fucking matter. You've made the same total difference by the time it's done. So, yeah. I can't understand where this came from. Like, it should really be something like Sprinter is 20% faster, 30% more stamina, or in Marathon Man it's 20% slower, 30% less stamina, or some other bigger dichotomy where it's either one is a slight, maybe, or I guess maybe Sprinter is slightly worse and Marathon Man is slightly better in the total distance you can run, right? But doesn't do that. So it's I think it's kind of a case where the whole trade-off thing actually just kind of fucked them, and yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. So I think I'll conclude the video there. This game has a few other issues like that, but just kind of makes you think, like, how does this actually slip in under the radar? I mean, did different people make these abilities? Was someone just like way too sleep deprived when they did this? Or, is it meant to be a trap? I'm not really sure. I wouldn't put something like this in a game. I would have done it differently. So it confuses me, confuses the hell out of me, and a few issues like that are the problems I have with this game. But I do highly recommend it. I'll make another video talking about what's good and bad about it separately. Cheers!